Hi, in this video, I'll be explaining to you about how to determine the place of supply during the import and export of goods. Place of supply is generally the place where the supply is considered to have taken place. Determining the place of supply is very important for tax purposes. The FTA has laid down specific set of rules to determine the place of supply for goods and services. The rules specified by them differs in case of goods and services respectively. Let us now discuss about determining the place of supply for goods. To make the process of determining the place of supply easier, let's divide the supply into three categories: domestic supplies, import, and export. The place of supply will be UAE in case of domestic supplies and import of goods, and hence the emirate in which the company is established will be chosen as the place of supply, and UAE VAT will be associated on the respective transactions. Let's take a peculiar case here. Say a company has multiple branches across the UAE, for example in Abu Dhabi and Sharjah, and the customer's location is also Sharjah. Let's assume the goods are being transported from Abu Dhabi to Sharjah. As per law, in case of domestic supplies by a company that has multiple branches across the Emirates, the place of supply needs to be chosen as the emirate which is in the close proximity to the place where the supply takes place. So, in the example that we have taken, though the company has branches in Abu Dhabi and Sharjah, and the goods are being transported from Abu Dhabi to the customer's place which is in Sharjah, the closest proximity to the supply in this case is Sharjah, and hence the place of supply will need to be set as Sharjah. Let me demonstrate how the place of supply chosen in the transactions created in Zoho Books creates an impact on the VAT return. I'm creating few invoices with the place of supply chosen as Abu Dhabi. If you see here, invoice number 15, 16, 17 and 18 are the ones created with the place of supply as Abu Dhabi. Now let's check the impact of these invoices in the VAT return by clicking on to the respective box. As you see here, all the invoices created with the place of supply as Abu Dhabi are reflected in the respective box. Similar to this, the value of the other boxes in the return will be populated based on the place of supply chosen. Please note that for non-established businesses, the place of supply will be the emirate where the supply was received by the customer. Now that we are done with the domestic supplies and import, let's move on to the slightly complex part, which is determining the place of supply during export. For better understanding, let's split the export transactions into two: export outside GCC and export to a GCC member state. In case of export outside GCC, it is pretty much straightforward. The place of supply will be UAE. In case of export to a GCC member state, we need to analyze three cases. The first one would be the customer to whom the goods are being exported to is registered for VAT. If the customer is GCC VAT registered, then the place of supply will be the destination member state. Say for example, you are exporting goods to a registered customer in the KSA. In this case, the place of supply will be chosen as KSA. The customer is not registered for VAT and the supply value is above threshold. In case of non-registered customers, an additional criteria is checked. If the customer is not registered for VAT and if the total value of exports, that is, export value of all the export transactions put together in the last 12 months done by the supplier exceeds the threshold of 3,75,000 dirhams, the place of supply will be the destination member state. The last case is the customer is not registered for VAT and the supply value is below the threshold. In this case, UAE will be the place of supply. Please note that in export, whenever I mention the place of supply as UAE, it refers to the emirate from where the goods are being exported. Hope this video was helpful in making you understand the concepts of place of supply for goods. Similar to this, the place of supply for services has been covered in a separate video. Please do watch that to understand the concept of place of supply. If you have any further queries, feel free to reach out to us. Thank you.